Welcome to this English story, a journey that will not only entertain you but also inspire you. This story is about understanding the importance of kindness, the value of community, and how each and every one of us has the power to change the world. Before we get into the excitement of the story, let's take a moment to reflect on something deeply meaningful, especially during the special time of Ramadan. The significance of Ramadan is a time of great spiritual importance for Muslims around the world. It is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, and it marks the time when the Quran was first revealed to Prophet Muhammad. Fasting during Ramadan is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, which are the fundamental acts of worship and practice in Islam. These pillars include faith, prayer, charity, fasting, and pilgrimage. For Muslims, Ramadan is not just a time to refrain from food and drink, but a time for deep reflection, spiritual growth, and a chance to connect with the broader community. It is a time to understand the struggles of those less fortunate and to give back. Fasting helps Muslims develop empathy for the hungry and the poor, and it is also a period of self-discipline, prayer, and charity. Fasting, not just about food. When we think of fasting, we often imagine a person refraining from food and drink for a set period. However, fasting during Ramadan is about much more than just food. It is about self-control, reflection, and spiritual growth. Muslims believe that fasting purifies the soul and helps them reconnect with God. It is also a reminder of the struggles of those who do not have enough to eat and drink on a daily basis. Fasting is about improving oneself in every way. It is not just about avoiding food and drink, but also about avoiding negative thoughts, words, and actions. Fasting provides an opportunity to work on personal growth and development, and to build a closer relationship with God. The rules of fasting. Fasting in Ramadan is obligatory for all adult Muslims who are able to do so. However, there are exceptions to this rule. People who are ill, elderly, pregnant, breastfeeding, or traveling are exempt from fasting. Children are not required to fast until they reach the age of maturity. Each day during Ramadan, Muslims begin their fast with a pre-dawn meal called suhoor. This meal helps provide energy for the long day of fasting. The fast ends at sunset with a meal called iftar, which is often shared with family and friends. Many people start iftar by eating dates, as this is a practice followed by Prophet Muhammad. The power of prayer. In addition to fasting, prayer is an essential part of Ramadan. Muslims pray 5 times a day, but during Ramadan, many Muslims pray even more. The Taraweeh prayer is a special prayer that is offered during Ramadan nights. It is a time for Muslims to come together in the mosque to pray and reflect on their relationship with God. The Quran, which Muslims believe to be the literal word of God, is recited more frequently during Ramadan. Many Muslims aim to complete the recitation of the entire Quran during the month. This practice helps strengthen their faith and brings them closer to understanding the messages and teachings of Islam. The importance of charity. Ramadan is also a time for giving and helping others. Muslims are encouraged to give to charity, whether it be through zakat, a mandatory charity that is part of the 5 pillars, or sadaqah, voluntary charity. Charity is seen as an essential part of Ramadan because it helps those who are less fortunate. Giving back is a reminder of how fortunate we are and how important it is to help others in need. Many Muslims also engage in acts of kindness, such as helping their neighbors, visiting the sick, and supporting community initiatives. Ramadan encourages Muslims to focus on their relationships with others and to create bonds of love, understanding, and compassion. Reflection and self-improvement. Ramadan is a time for reflection and self-improvement. It is a chance to evaluate one's life, thoughts, and actions. Muslims reflect on their past behavior and seek ways to improve themselves. During Ramadan, there is a heightened focus on controlling negative impulses, such as anger, envy, and impatience. Self-improvement in Ramadan is not just about spiritual growth, but also about personal growth. It is a time for people to try and break free from bad habits, whether it be smoking, unhealthy eating, or negative speech. By focusing on self-discipline, Muslims strive to become better versions of themselves. The special days of Ramadan. There are several special days in Ramadan that hold particular significance. One of these is Laylat al-Qadr, the night of power. It is believed that on this night, the first verses of the Quran were revealed to Prophet Muhammad. Laylat al-Qadr is considered the holiest night of the year, and Muslims believe that prayers offered on this night are especially powerful. Eid al-Fitr is the grand celebration that marks the end of Ramadan. It is a time of joy and gratitude as Muslims celebrate the successful completion of the month of fasting. On Eid, Muslims gather for special prayers, visit family and friends, exchange gifts, and share meals. It is a time for communal unity and gratitude. Ramadan around the world. Ramadan is observed differently around the world, depending on culture, geography, and local traditions. In some parts of the world, such as in Northern Europe, the days during Ramadan can be incredibly long, with fasting hours sometimes reaching up to 22 hours. In contrast, countries near the equator have shorter days, and fasting hours may only be 12 to 14 hours. In some countries, Ramadan is marked with special festivals and celebrations. For example, in the Middle East, streets are decorated with lights, and the sound of drums can be heard as people wake up for suhoor. In Indonesia, special parades are held to celebrate the beginning of Ramadan. Even in space, astronauts follow the schedule of Ramadan, adjusting their fasting times based on the location of their spacecraft relative to Earth. This demonstrates how deeply rooted the tradition of Ramadan is, and how Muslims all over the world, no matter where they are, continue to observe its practices. The impact of Ramadan on daily life. Ramadan affects many aspects of daily life. People's routines change, work hours may be shortened, and there is a greater emphasis on spending time with family and community. The month is often marked by a sense of tranquility and purpose, with Muslims taking time to reflect on their faith and their relationship with God. In some countries, it is illegal to eat or drink in public during the day as a sign of respect for those who are fasting. Businesses may adjust their hours to accommodate the needs of people who are fasting. In the evenings, markets and restaurants become busy as people come together to break their fast at iftar. Health and Ramadan. Fasting during Ramadan can have both positive and negative effects on health, depending on how well a person takes care of themselves. For healthy individuals, fasting can be a time to improve health, lose weight, and detoxify the body. Some studies suggest that fasting can help regulate blood sugar levels and improve heart health. However, fasting can also present challenges. It is important to stay hydrated and eat nutritious foods during non-fasting hours to avoid fatigue and dehydration. People with certain health conditions, such as diabetes or heart problems, should consult with a doctor before fasting to ensure it is safe. Conclusion: the power of small acts. In the end, Ramadan teaches us that even the smallest act of kindness or generosity can make a big difference in someone's life. Whether it's offering a smile, sharing a meal, or helping someone in need, each good deed has the potential to create a ripple effect that spreads across the world. Ramadan reminds us that true faith is not just in words, but in actions. By helping others, showing compassion, and reflecting on our own behavior, we can make the world a better place for everyone. So let us take the lessons of Ramadan with us and continue to help others, be kind, and share our blessings with the world.